Yeah, I let chat decide my haircut, but Badger made me shave the rest because she's like, I'm not having sex with you with that fucking haircut.
Hey guys, and welcome. My name is Dashing Knot. I have been playing Escape from Tarkov for over 3 years now. I put a lot of research into the system and mechanics around all skills in the game, and I decided to see how other players are feeling about the skill system. Today we continue our series with Slushpuppy, who has been streaming Escape from Tarkov on Twitch for over 3 years and gathered extensive knowledge about the game during his time playing. As one of the more experienced Tarkov players out there, he has not only farmed all keys and done all tasks as early as 18 days into the current wipe, he did a lot more. So Slushy, welcome and nice to have you.
Hello, good to be here.
Let me jump right to the first question so we can get a good start into that. As a more experienced Tarkov player, if I may say so, what is your personal opinion on the current state of the skill system?
I think it's pretty broken right now. So
Okay.
I think that the skills are too hard to level for just playing the game naturally. So they don't really have any they don't have any meaning to casual players. So casual players either don't care about them or don't know about how overpowered they are. And for people that are willing to put in the effort, they are way too overpowered. So I think they're just completely broken, and they need a redo, in my opinion. Some of them work okay. Some of them you can level up fine, like search and things like that. But yeah, most of them are either completely useless or completely OP and way too hard to level. And all of the leveling doesn't happen when you're just naturally playing the game, so it's sort of frustrating.
It kind of does sometimes with some skills like search. You level search naturally. It doesn't take you super long.
See, I think that search is a good one. Like if you play the game as someone that like farms a lot of shoreline, search will level naturally and well. And mine just hit max yesterday. I'm level 60. I was level 60 when I hit it, level 61 now. And it hit max elite level. And that's fine. Like hitting max around level 60 is fine. But like when you're only on level 20 strength and you're level 60 already, it's like,
But
it's a bit weird. And
I think Nikita said he doesn't want people to max it out. So when you play the game naturally, you shouldn't be able to really max it out, like the skills like strength.
Yeah.
What skill is OP? You just said the skill system has skills that are too OP.
Well, I think like if you have max endurance and max speed compared to someone that's like level 10 with just like level 10 endurance and level 10 strength, your character is just a lightning bolt that can run forever compared to them. Like it's not like you can expect it. And like I've been playing the game for a long time and I know when I see someone that's like that fast and that beastie to expect it. But if you're playing against someone who's new to the game and you just got some dude who's running around in a bloody Fort and Alton who's just hunting you down like a dog, then it's like, okay, why the fuck can this guy run forever? This is bullshit. My character dies in a puddle of sweat after running for 10 meters. Like it would seem very unfair, especially for new players.
Oh, okay. Let's. I'll keep that in mind. What you just said, because I think that's something you can explain a bit later. Then, so if we move on, because you know all the skills anyway. I know that. If you look at all the skills and each wipe, you could only pick 4 that can be maxed out. Which ones would you currently pick and why?
Well, definitely strength and endurance for those two. Endurance, monster flanks. You can get to all the loot the quickest. Strength the same, helps with your flanks and like just being able to yeet out of like cover and stuff like that. Like people can barely even hit you most of the time, especially with a bit like if the server's got a bit of a lag and your character's like bloody skipping around a little bit, which is pretty common regardless of your ping. Like strength just makes you almost impossible to hit for some players. They just don't have the tracking speed on their mouse to be able to hit that. I think attention is awesome, even though it is a bit broken. It seems to bug out your game a lot, but the ability to just insta search containers is absolutely amazing. I'd probably go with that because I do a lot of like I'll do like a money run and then like a PvP run. So I do loot a lot. So the instant search would be amazing. And then probably either recoil control or assault rifle skill to lower the recoil on my gun because they are insane. Like 25% lower recoil is so much.
I had a one of the people I talked to, one of my mods, I think it was, he said he personally would go with recoil control over assault rifle. First of all, they buffed recoil control, it's now 45%, and secondly, it counts for all the guns, where assault rifle is only for assault rifles. So that kind of was like, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Yeah, I mean, they sort of you sort of level those two in unison though, and then they're so good together. Like when you're spraying like with anything, it's like all you have to do is ADS, and it feels like you're laying down with your gun, like with max level compared to normal level. Like that is so fucking OP.
I don't know in 11.7 when you had a max assault rifle. Your FAL was a laser beam, and most of the guns were a laser beam, right? Yeah. And so they changed it for point 12. Yeah, they changed it for point 12. They wanted to nerf it. Do you know what happened? They actually buffed it. You now need both skills. You need both skills, but when you have both skills maxed, they're stronger than in 11.7. That's
I might have to level them this patch then.
I haven't maxed out recoil control actually. I'm on level 44, 45. I don't level it naturally.
I think mine's level 37. I haven't power leveled mine at all. The only skill I power leveled this patch is a little bit of strength from bashing some legs. I think like 2 or 3 levels, and then I was like,
and stress resistance for the tasks.
Stress resistance for the tasks.
Yes.
And then I did stress resistance by the fire because like everyone was doing it, and I was like, it'll just be really quick if I just do it. And then I went and did it, and I saw how fast it was, and I was like, oh, it'll only take me. I'll just sit in this raid and then use the rest around grizzlies. And then I was like, I have max stress resistance. I was like, whatever. And it's not an overpowered skill, so I didn't really feel bad about doing it. But I also leveled my endurance. So I got max endurance 2 or 3 days ago just from walking around.
Nice.
So I just I like if I was doing other stuff like watching other streamers and having a coffee in the morning, I'd just load up Tarkov and then just go and walk around on shoreline as you do. Just go for a nighttime
as you do.
stroll. Yeah.
If you have nothing else to do, you just walk around shoreline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But but it's it obviously got nerfed a little bit later in the patch with that with the boost.
Let me have a quick look. Endurance, and I made a video about that. You now need roughly 230 hours.
230 hours.
Yeah, without the 40% boost. Yeah, so the 40% boost obviously makes it a lot faster, and before you needed 157. So without the 40% boost. So ultimately, it's okay. Well,
like a lot of the time, I get that stuff from like while I'm playing. I get a lot of that stuff anyway, because like the way I look at it, like if I play a lot of Shoreline at the moment, I get a lot of skill boost from that because I run into Shoreline underweight because my strength is like level 20, and then I run out of Shoreline overweight, so I get a little bit of running and stuff like that in. It sounds like my life training regime.
That's currently actually really smart, because I just released the strength video today, and if you just use the boost phase for walking overweight, you actually get a lot of points. It's let me have a look for walking overweight.
Oh, it's a 129% boost, isn't it?
It's the boost phase goes from 129 to 100, and then the blue triangle goes away. And you do get 1.3, but you get them really fast. So you don't have to walk very long to get the 1.3 skill points. I mean, it's overall, if you want to level it by walking overweight, you take way longer than any other method. But that particular moment, you get the most skill points the fastest way. So actually
Yeah.
walking there underweight and walking out overweight is smart if you want to just
Yeah,
level
well,
it
you get
naturally.
like you just take advantage of that natural like little
Yes.
boost every raid. I mean,
Yes.
like I usually play pretty thick, so I'm already overweight if I go into the raid, or if not very close to being overweight. So my strength levels up sort
Yeah.
of naturally. So that's why I was I wanted to level my endurance because
Hmm.
I'm usually playing as a fucking big Chad. Then it's like I
Yeah.
want to I want to get a bit more endurance. So my endurance has maxed out mainly because of me just pushing it on like shoreline. So and it's incredibly fucking boring. So
Oh, you can do you can do some amazing stuff with max endurance. It's actually crazy. It's insane.
yeah. Oh, it's great.
If you know
Yeah.
how to play the game and you have that skill max, yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty
Well, just
interesting.
like never running out of endurance while you're trying to aim your gun, like being able to run up. So if you're like running
Yeah.
towards combat and you run up to someone and someone with shitty endurance runs towards you and you both stop to shoot at the same time and he runs out of endurance instantly, you win that fight. Like
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
that guy's
His
gun
yeah.
is flopping around like a pool noodle. Like you
Yeah,
can't even
yeah,
shoot.
yeah. No, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, that's I've seen that many a times.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we've talked about the four skills you want to pick from your point of view,
Yep.
and I should say that when I asked other streamers that question, they always come up with charisma, but charisma is only halfway implemented. Just as a heads up, it's only halfway in. The only
Yeah.
reason for charisma being in is, or for you to having to level it, is because of the task, yeah. But it
Yeah.
doesn't do
Oh, is
anything.
that oh, the reduced prices? Yeah, no, that doesn't
That
do
doesn't
anything.
work.
All
No,
the
no.
prices are still the same. Yeah, no, I'm not. No,
It
it's
doesn't work. So it's not really in. So
not.
from your point of view, what is
Yeah.
the most useless skill currently implemented in the game?
Well, I mean, charisma is shit, obviously, but I mean, useless. There's probably like a few different reasons something is useless. Like, there's there's skills that literally do nothing, but they haven't even been implemented. So it's like, can you really call them a useless skill? They're not even really in the game. But I think like mag drills is the one that annoys me the most
This,
because it's like it doesn't do anything because it just doesn't level. It's like fucking dumb as shit, man.
I'm
It
on
just
level
makes so
5.
fucking a level 5, yeah. I think I'm
Hmm.
on level 6. Uh, but it's yeah, it's a that skill is just a joke, and it's just completely pointless.
But
I don't
you
even know
remember
why they bother putting it in.
when you drag over the magazines into your rig and you could move them one slot and then it would tell you the 60 or 30 out of
Yeah, yeah,
30, but they removed that,
yeah,
right? And that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
Magdrills does on Elite. That's the Elite perk. Like you drag them over and it tells you
Ah, okay.
exactly how many bullets are in there. And
Ah,
I
okay.
looked at
Yeah.
Elite perk, and at the time you need to level that one up, and I thought, who the
Yeah.
fuck is going to do that? Because not even someone crazy like me would ever spend
Oh,
400
no.
hours on leveling something like that up.
I mean, like if they stopped having wipes in the game, just kept going, and they just kept adding content to the game, and people kept coming back, and it was like my character's level 100, then it might get maxed one day. I
Yes,
don't know. It's
yes. You
yeah,
just have to play a lot of A as well, I guess, because you tend to
yeah,
reload the Val
yeah.
more than any other gun.
Well, I use like one method that I use a lot when I think mine's a little bit higher than most people is because like if I use a 60 if I use an M4 I will use 260 rounders instead of like 3 or 4 because I don't want all my ammo hanging out the wind because if you can't kill a 5-man with 260 rounders there's something wrong with you. Well, not there's
Did
something
you
wrong with
just
you but
say
you need
that
to
because there's something wrong with me then?
need to work on your aim. I actually did have one the other day where I killed a 5-man and I had 260 rounders and I ran out of ammo on the last guy. I was like, no. So I mean, I probably should carry 2 spares, but I usually just like carry 2 and then
Hmm.
reload the one. But I'm very OCD about having the full mags. Like the second I get out of a fight, I just like squat down and fill up all my mags. So
Hmm.
very OCD about it. But it is like a useless skill.
Yeah.
I wish that they'd make something better about it. It would be cool. But,
So,
yeah.
what's the hardest skill to max out, in your opinion, and why?
Mm. Um, well, the hardest that I actually want to max out is strength.
Hmm.
That shit is so slow, man. Like I just don't understand why it levels so slow. It's frustrating. Like you can throw like billions of grenades or like walking so slow. Like I I wish that they'd make it level like I want to say like when you get to sort of max level, like your character's starting to approach max skill level, but maybe that's just
Yeah.
like the completionist in me, and they're like, oh, we don't want that in the game. Like, but I feel like if you're getting towards a max level character, you should have max level skills, and then like the high end PvP is between all guys with maxed out skills, you know? So it's
Hmm.
like I wish it would go a bit faster. And yeah, it's difficult, especially for people that aren't as proficient at the game and don't run around like heavy as fuck every time. Like
Yeah.
they're never gonna level strength. That's never gonna happen, man.
Well, I mean, if you level it by throwing a grenade but walking overweight, or if you hit someone with your knife or whatever you use, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
I just did the math today, and it's 31,400 grenades that you need
yeah.
um to throw,
I mean,
roughly, roughly. Um,
I joked around. Like I did it once, so I was taking like 3 thick cases of
mhm.
grenades into a raid
Yeah, I did that
and
too.
throwing them all. Even doing that is still like an absurd amount of raids because you can only throw something like I think it was like 360 grenades in a factory.
Yeah,
So it's like you run out of time.
yes, yes, you do.
It's
The
fucked, man.
thing about that is that now with the exhaustion phase implemented, it's actually not worth throwing more than 100 grenades per raid.
Yeah, yeah,
So, um, and I did that. I brought 60 grenades in today to test it, and the results were
yeah,
reasonable. Like you can do it in 3.5 minutes, apparently.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so that you can do that really fast, but it's very, very costly, especially at the beginning of the wipe. It's just not worth doing it at
Yeah.
all.
I think it was
Um,
like it's like 42 million rubles or something.
somebody,
Or is it
somebody,
more?
somebody calculated that at the current price, at like 7K, the flashbangs. He said it's
Yeah.
217 million. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's like it's doable in the current state of the economy because everything's like the economy is in hyperinflation right now. So anything that you sell is worth an absolute shitload. So like I
yeah.
deleted 100 million rubles the other day as a joke. And it's not very hard to make money. So I guess you could do it, but it's just a matter of
Well,
like actually
it also, I
caring
mean,
enough.
on top of that, on top of having to have the money or the grenades, you also need 120 hours, roughly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we just said. You know, you can only throw as many grenades, and it always takes time. So, and
Yeah.
then you have the matching time. So you need to spend about 7 minutes in a raid, something like that, to throw the grenades that you need to throw, and then you have to extract.
Yeah.
And then you have to rematch, restock the grenades. I always calculate like 5 minutes. It takes you a very long time, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
But like if you're doing 100 grenades per if you're doing 100 grenades per raid, what's that? That's like 3,000 raids of doing it or something. Is it?
I can tell you that. Apparently,
Is that right?
somebody
Or
did the
is it like
math. So,
three?
throwing nades takes you 553 raids, and
Yeah.
119.9, so 120 hours.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And you
Yeah.
yeah, it's roughly 31,400 grenades. So it actually is less than you had to use before because of the boost phase. But
Yeah.
you need longer for it because you have to actually extract from the raid, and you can't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
throw and throw and throw. It just not That's not working anymore.
Yeah.
And
Well, I suppose you could load in every raid with like one of those raid backpacks just full of grenades and then just throw them at the start of every raid if you wanted to. But then you're throwing away that raid for yourself because you've just made so much fucking noise.
yes,
Oh,
you tell everybody where you are. You spend a lot of
yeah.
time because if especially like if you run resort, you can't be there first if you throw your nades first.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
unless you're having a coffee watching a stream and then want to just walk underweight. That's possible.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm already.
Man,
Oh, next wipe, I guarantee you'll see so many people doing all kind of mixtures between skills, to
yeah.
utilize
Yeah.
the raid time. It's gonna be glorious, and I'm one of them. that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, what can I say? So
Yeah.
you have max endurance, and you already said it, that you can flank and do crazy shit. And what's your strength? 20?
Yep. Yeah, about 20.
Okay,
Yep.
just think about you having level 1 strength and now 20, and you having low endurance and now max endurance. So
Yep.
how do the skills affect your style to play in terms of PvP and also PvE?
Well, last patch, like, sorry, the last patch where everyone had max endurance, when it was like a max endurance and max strength, so it's a lot easier to do them, like in the point 0.6, point 0.7, point 0.8, point 0.9, like when it
Hmm.
used to be even more OP. It used to, like, everyone that did it, everyone that leveled it, pretty much only had to play with the pistol, because the pistol gave you increased run speed.
Yes.
And if you just put it on a pistol and a packer, then you're almost unkillable because no one could hit you. So it completely changed the game. Like, you just became this like uber predator that would just run around like a crazy motherfucker,
Hmm.
and you're pretty much invincible because no one could actually hit you as long as you kept moving. But at the moment, it doesn't change it as much. Like, you can do a lot more. Like, flanking is a good one. Like, you can happily just like run and move around. You can push a lot harder
Yes.
when you've got max strength and max endurance, and you can also flank and fall back a lot harder. So it makes it harder for other players to ascertain your position because they just don't really have in the back of your mind that your character has the stamina
Yes.
or the speed to get to a different position. So if you play tactically, it can change your PvP game completely.
Hmm.
It makes you a lot more deadly. But PvE, I mean, the search skill definitely, like, that's for looting bodies and the attention and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
if you have those, you can, like, especially max attention, man, you can loot shoreline in like a matter of minutes.
I don't know
And
anything about that.
insurance does the endurance does the same thing though, man. Like, now at the moment, even like, I got max endurance and 20 strength, man. I can loot the entire east or west wing before people even
Yeah.
arrive, and then be on to the next wing. So, like, especially when I'm playing solo, I found that I've loot the entire east wing, loot the
Hmm.
north wing, and then run over to the west wing, and there'll be guys actually just coming out of like the first two rooms
Hmm.
in the west wing, and they've just started looting it, and then that's where I expect to encounter people on after I've looted pretty much
Yes.
all of the shoreline.
Yes.
So, like, if I wanted to, especially if I get a good spawn, if I wanted to, I can farm the entirety of the shoreline without even seeing a person, just because I'm so fast. But it's
Yeah.
also like, you can, if you really wanted to like min max your loot, like, you could just run in, loot one wing, and then just run out and
Hmm.
never see a person, regardless of spawn. Like,
So
it's
if
yeah,
I get a good spawn like old granny house or god spawn, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
can loot the entire resort with all rooms. And since I have max attention, I can also check a few boxes and
yeah.
extract. And my best time was 7 minutes and 16 seconds. But I
Yep.
can almost guarantee if Rock Passage is open, it's always going to be under 10. And I once managed to actually, I spawned a tunnel and I extracted that road to customs in under 10 minutes, and I chucked an items case full of loot. That's what those skills do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
I
makes it
totally
yeah, it
understand
makes
what
it
you're saying.
amazing. Yeah. I mean, the endurance is like, you can't run that much further than someone else. Like, you can't, it's a little bit further than someone that has like average endurance. But when you stop and it just instantly refills, and then you just go
Hmm.
again with a full endurance bar, it's like, yeah, this
Yes.
is fucking OP.
Yes.
Like,
But
it's good
you do
though.
get 150% more stamina.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did an interesting test. We had a guy and he was running. We were watching him, and he was running for 12 seconds, and then his stamina went out. So
Yep.
we let him be, and then I did a test run. And 12 seconds into me running, I had like a quarter of my stamina bar gone.
Oh, really?
Okay, so that's a huge
Yeah.
difference. The 150% more
Yeah.
stamina gives you a huge difference.
Yeah.
And then on top comes that my stamina is out. Let me wait for 10 seconds so my stamina is back up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's like,
that's the real
but it's
power of the skill, in my opinion.
yeah. It is one of the more OP skills. It's fun to use. It's awesome once you get it. I definitely enjoy using it, but
Yes.
it's like a lot. I think it's more of a I think it's more useful in looting than it is PvP, but it's equally useful in both. Like that's why I think it's probably one of the most OP skills is because it's so
Yeah.
useful for making money and fighting,
Yeah.
and gives you so much benefit in all aspects of the game. So it's like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
I rated this skill the most valuable skill in the game currently, because of those
Yeah,
perks that you get. Strength to level 50 is absolutely great because of the running speed. Level 51 is
yeah,
completely obsolete at the moment. Once they implement the weight system, that's a different thing. But
yeah,
the elite
yeah,
perk for strength is, nobody cares about that. But endurance gives you so many elite perks, and the stamina recovery, it doesn't even show. So it's not even
yeah,
a perk that shows. It's crazy,
yeah.
and I hope they never change
Yeah, it's
it.
pretty insane.
I want that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. It
Um,
used to be it used to be more OP, man.
oh,
It
no,
used to
I
be
know they nerfed it. I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when you used to be able to I used to farm marked room and I could run from like
Hmm.
the one custom spawn all the way to mark room, loot mark room, and then run all the way to the boiler extract without even fucking taking a rest. It
Yep.
was like bullshit, man. And you
But
could do it in like a minute as well with max strength.
I mean, you could. Some people used it to farm the factory keys. When they were still super
Yep.
valuable. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, I
those
remember that.
times. Good old
Yeah.
times. I want them. No, I don't want them back. The game was not as fun as it is now.
The game was so broken.
So here's one of the harder ones because it actually not only requires
Yeah.
creativity but also shows your point on um what you would do towards not just you but for the community, like the casual players. I've heard a lot of
Yeah.
people say, we should not never ever forget about the casual players.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
are the people that I prefer to talk to because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not in that corner that fuck the casuals. I want it hardcore, and I just want 10 people
Yeah.
playing this
I
entire game.
yeah.
Um,
I don't wanna fuck the casuals. I just want like I want I want it you want it like World of Warcraft where there is casual content, but then there's like fucking super hardcore
yes,
content as well.
yes, exactly.
Like,
That's a very good one. So,
yeah.
if you were the one to
Yeah.
decide, how would you implement the skill system?
It's so hard, man. It's like I look at the skills and I just see like they're open for exploitation at the moment. Like they are going to be exploited because of how powerful they are.
Hmm.
And it's sort of like are they worth would they be worth getting if they weren't as insane boosts? Like if it was only like if they just brought up the base endurance and then only made the endurance skill like a 20% boost instead of being like 150, like
Hmm.
150 is insane. Like it's so over the top. But would it be worth lowering those down and then increasing the leveling rate of them? Could work, but it's like I think that they really need something in game that gives you the ability to level these skills in a proper manner if you choose to. So like if you've got it's the same thing as going to the gym, man. If you want to level strength, you have to go to the gym. You have to
Hmm.
lift weights. Like
Yeah.
I don't do that because I'm a lazy fat fuck. But I would do it in game. And it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I can't believe you're going out there just exploiting this by like bashing your mate in the legs with a fucking hatchet." And it's like, but it's the same as like a hatchet goes and loots the same map over and over again and becomes better
Yes.
and better at it. I bash
Yes.
legs to become better and better at strength. Like a pro athlete shoots 10,000 free throws from the free throw line to become a master at it. Like that's like it's repetition makes you
Yes.
better, but they need to add just like a specific way to do it. Like I don't know, lift weights in your hideout or something like that, and people can like spend the time doing that or spend the in-game currency to do that or
Hmm.
something like that. Like, I don't know,
But
steroid
overall,
injections.
that's it's interesting because I personally think that the way they implemented it so far with the repetitiveness is actually very close to real life. So if I run every day, at some point I'm able to run a 10-mile marathon and a 21 and 100 miles. Never, but matter. But that's exactly, you train for it every day, right? You repeat and repeat and repeat. So that's really, in my opinion, that's really good. Others were suggesting like a skill point system. I leveled up, I get a skill point, and then I said like, okay, so Pestily is going to have max skills after 2 days because he's the only one who's leveling up to level 40 in 2 days. That's not fair.
But I don't really like the skill point system. The idea of a skill point system, because it's like it's for me, like in real life, I can't just like I stream a lot. I can't just like stream and then just be like, oh, I'm gonna drop some points into big dickness and then my penis grows. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like
it doesn't.
It's like no, it's
damn shame.
Like I don't think that makes sense realistically. But I do think that like something that makes sense realistically is that like there's a lot of people like if you're in real life and you wanted to become strong, you don't go, well, I'll have to go out and find a job that makes me strong. Like, I'll go and chop wood for my neighbor or something like that. You just go and get a set of weights, man, and then just lift weights. And then I don't know, if you end up lifting a cabinet in your house for like realistically purposes and using your strength, that's fine. But most of the time, you're building the strength through a repetitive action that is mundane, and all you're doing is just moving an object from one place to another. And that's just what training for physical nature is.
Yes.
You look at like Clean on his gun range streams, man. He does a lot of close concealed carry drills.
Yes.
So he's training for a situation that he doesn't specifically like. He doesn't want to happen. He hopes it never happens. But if it does happen, he'll be ready. But how do you train that without like testing? Like you can't just go around picking fights with people to test it. It's like you need to train it in a controlled environment.
He can probably do it once, and then he spends the rest of his life someplace else. But yeah, I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I think there should be like a training facility thing in the game. Like, I mean, it's. I don't know, like if you could just like AFK, like you don't want it to be like you could just AFK your character on a set of weights and then come back and your character's jacked, but like you need to work out a way to do it. But it's like even if you had it, so it's like, oh, you can only like is that like with humans, and there's like you can only gain like 2 pounds of muscle a month or some shit like that, whatever the actual number is in real life. Like, just have a diminishing returns on it, man. So it's like, yeah, you can lift weights every day in your character, but you're only going to get this many points. And then once you get to a certain point of, I don't know, bashing the space bar, then you get diminishing returns on it, and then there's no use doing it. So it's like, instead of having people going into raids and doing it,
I think that's what they intended when they had the system in that if you like don't play, like your character doesn't run, your character doesn't lift things and does things, your skills would basically roll back.
Yeah.
And I think that was the intention behind it, and that wasn't a bad one.
Yeah.
However, obviously, I think the main problem is that it always affects those people that play the game less than others. But you can't really change that. And with all the interviews I've done, I've always used World of Warcraft as the perfect example for that. You can't expect method to, hey, my name is Joe, I just started World of Warcraft and I want to just raid Mythic Progress with you guys. And they're like, dude, you know, learn the game, come back, grind your shit, you know?
Well, yeah, there's a few different arguments. Like the you want the casuals because it sells the game, it populates the game, and there's heaps of noobs for me. That's cool. I want heaps of casuals. But then there's a lot of people that are like, oh, the game's like it's unaccepting to casuals. I can't get good at this game. I only play an hour a night. It's like, well, I don't play piano and I don't expect to be good at piano not playing it. If I put in 5 hours of practice a night, I might be annoyed at my progress if it wasn't happening. But if I never play it, why would I think I'm going to get good? So it's like you've got to,
Yeah.
like, you're not going to get good at the game if you're doing it. But like the good thing about Tarkov is like you can run in with just a pistol, and I mean half the time you can accidentally murk a geared guy in the face, and get away with the win. It just it's very difficult. You can't expect to be amazing at it. Like you can't expect to be as good as someone like me. I'm not even amazing, and I play like 10 hours a day, but you can't expect to be as good as someone like that if you only play like 45 minutes a day or one raid a day, you know?
No, I absolutely agree. That's
Exactly.
practice is what makes you better at something. That's
Yeah.
actually how life works. Yeah. So basically, what you want is a little gym in the hideout that you can build, that you then can utilize to gain some extra points while doing the repetitive things in a raid too, and you can only do as much in a raid until it slowly goes down to 0.
Maybe like you can like you can work out every day, but you can only gain like however many points of strength.
So you're capping the points per time period, so to say. So basically, what you're doing is if I would do all my training every day, until I can't progress anymore, right? Because then there's a cap. Then I just come back in the next period of time, whatever that is, and do it again. And then at some point, the earliest point is, let's say, 6 months into a wipe where I could have the skill maxed out. Basically, which would probably work because you would prolong the time and not have anybody having maxed out skills on the one hand. On the other hand, I see a problem with that. So I'm always a big fan of, if I put in the time for whatever reason, I have the time. Sometimes it's not a good reason. I should be rewarded with that.
I feel you. Yeah,
but
it feels deliberately like mobile gamey. Like it's not a good implementation. I know it's not a good implementation, but there needs to be some sort of implementation that makes it fair. And if it's like, that feels like some Candy Crush bullshit, like having to wait for a timer. But it also like it has roots in real life as well. Like I can't just go and just pick up a dumbbell right now and literally just start curling it until my right arm is as big as a fucking truck. Like I will at some stage have to stop. I will be exhausted. So it's like, is it like you can't just literally just bench press 5,000 times and then just be like, I'm jacked in a day. Like it just doesn't work like that. Like your body would just fail. So it's like,
that's very true.
It does have some roots in reality, but yes, it does have a very Candy Crush psychology addicting sort of feel to it, which I don't like. But
didn't they sort of because you as a human sitting behind a PC that has to sleep and eat and shit and do other things, if you have a girlfriend or a wife, your right hand, doesn't matter. So you're doing you at some point your body will break down. You have to sleep, so you can't do it 5,000 times because at some point I have to sleep. You have to sleep. Everybody has to sleep, unless you have a little brother or something. That's smart. So did they not already implement it because of that? Because your natural state is at some point you can't sit in front of the PC anymore.
Well, yeah, I suppose that sort of makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like but then you're just sort of basing it on like people's reality. I
mean,
think
there's crazy people like me that sleep for 3 hours. Beginning of the night.
Well, we could just do like a pest, man, and just go for 72 hours straight. Like there's gonna be people that do that, and like it's sort of that's where it comes into the casual versus hardcore thing. Like not everyone has that time.
Yeah.
I play Tarkov as a full-time job, so it's easy for me to have that time.
Yes.
It's not easy for everyone else, and then it sort of makes it unfair. Like a lot of people will draw the line in the sand and say it's streamers versus casuals on this thing, but there are a lot of sweaty people that don't stream. There's more sweaty people than me that don't stream. I mean, fucking jobless Bob that sits in his mum's basement just jacking off and eating cheeses all day has more time than me probably to do this. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to think of a good is accessible and also beneficial. It's a difficult one.
No, it is, but it is something. So at the end of the day, something needs to change. That's basically. You don't know exactly how to make it. You can't make it fair to anybody, to everybody. That's not possible. No. It never will be. But I think I would agree to say like what they implemented now with the boost phase and the exhaustion phase. It only slowed the power leveling faction down a little bit. But not really, and it didn't award or reward the casual players at all. Quite the opposite. It made it really worse for them. In my opinion, that wasn't a good step. So I think the way it was before was even better than what we have now. For most skills. However, that's
a lot of my problem with it is that like you've got people going into a raid with a fucking hatchet and 90 grizzlies and then just sitting around just jerking off in the corner. And it's like that's not what the servers are for, in my opinion. Like I don't want to go into a raid and be looking around for PvP and like scanning corners and shit like that, expecting to see someone that actually wants to put up a fight, and everyone on the map is just blowing each other on the campfire up the back of Shoreline. Like it's like it's just a waste of server spots. Like it's the same as why I hate hatchlings, man, because it's like, motherfucker, like you could have just fucked off and just gone and done something else, and played a I don't know, gone and fucking collected trash on the side of the road, done something useful with your life, and then you could have ceded that server position to someone who actually wants to have a fight and will make the game enjoyable. And so it's just that's what pisses me off. Like it's they're just walking around picking up trash, and so I think that they need to make like just take all of the power leveling things out of the game, and if people want to power level them, then give them like a way to do it in the hideout or something like that, so that you can practice stuff in the hideout. You can practice drills.
You want people not to be scared to go into a raid so they can get max skills before they go into the first raid? Because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly. But there's no perfect solution.
It's gonna be a 24-hour hideout stream from me next wipe then. That's for sure.
I just take the fucking skills out.
I personally. No, I think the skills are a good addition to the game. They give it more depth but. It's just to add to that, I think that hatchlings, I don't mind them. It's not a waste. I mean, I killed a level 51 hatchling tonight on stream. It was beautiful, right? I shot his leg. He was lying down. I was looking at him. He was looking at me. I was putting a bullet in his head.
But they're like, they're not even poor, man. Though, like a level 51 hatchling.
No, they're mostly not. No way they're actually rich.
They're the richest motherfuckers in the game, and it's like, why? But that's part of the symptom. Like so that's a symptom, not a cause. And the cause is that there's no cost benefit to actually run gear at the moment.
Just think about World of Warcraft again, just for a moment, just real quick. The guy that sits in front of the auction house all day and flips shit is probably the richest guy on the server, and that's all he wants to do all day in World of Warcraft. He doesn't want to go into a raid. He doesn't want to go join a guild or do anything. He just wants to sit on the auction house and flip money because that's what he's really enjoying and where he's really good at. There's a guy that farms herbs, and there's a guy that farms whatnot, and that's what his fun is about. And then he puts it on the auction house and sells it and sees his gold increasing, and it's exactly the same in Tarkov. There is people that just want, like, one of my mods currently is I think he's sitting on 700 million rubles by just farming shoreline. Okay, he doesn't do it as a hatchling. He does it geared. But still, that's all he does. That's all he does. He just farms fucking shoreline every day. And it's like, if that's where you enjoy the game the most, then go for it. And if you want to run it and see how much you can get out as fast as possible with just your gamma, if that's how you enjoy it, because the majority of the people is not doing that. If you see a low level player with just a pistol or a hatchet, he's probably poor as fuck and he just needs the money.
Yeah.
So I never.
Oh, I don't mind that. Yeah.
I never say fuck the hatchlings. They take away spots. No, they actually try everything to not use the Propor AK-74Us.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind a hatch, like a genuine hatchling. It's just that the guys that have, like, someone that has like fucking 20 thick cases full of armor and helmets and guns, and they's just like, no, I'm not going to take anything out. It's just like, why? Like,
it's like you have this beautiful picture, like thick case after thick case, you know, armor, helmets, guns, money, and then you slowly go over knife, hatchet, red rebel. I'll take the knife today.
What am I going to take? Yeah, exactly. But that's like, it just doesn't make any, like, it doesn't make any lore sense in the game. Like, this fucking elite PMC operative is just running around shirts, pants, and an axe. It's like, but that guy's on a motherfucking suicide mission. Like, there's no fucking, like, value to a PMC life in the game. So it just makes, like, this fucking ridiculous bullshit. So it's like, I don't know, it's a game. But if they want to, like, if you want to make the game as realistic as possible, then that, like, I don't know, make a roguelite. If you die, you just fucking, your character gets reduced to level 0 again. That'd be hilarious. Like DayZ, man. Here's the new character.
Then you see the experienced player waiting on the shoreline to just kill the Bambis over and over again.
Yeah, well, then that's a problem then, because you just have you'd have motherfuckers that just camp like they do in Chernarus in DayZ, man. Like, just chill out. And so it's like, there's a fine line, man. Like, you need to work out how to do this, how to do it properly, obviously. But
no, I think there's no easy solution for it all. Nah. I don't think there is.
No, but I think they need to start messing with it, and they need to sort of redo the framework of how they do it, and put in the ability to quick change skills into their system, and then just test a fuckload of shit. Like, just start a wipe with a completely different layout of it, and then just test heaps of stuff over the wipe. Yeah, it'll fuck everyone's skills for the entire wipe. But that's what we're here for. We're here to beta test it. Like, it's all about testing the game.
They don't need to worry about that. I'll make a video about each single skill.
Yeah.
No problem. I'd enjoy that. Oh God. So if just imagine this. Next swipe, point 13. You can get all your skills to level 50 if you do it like you usually do, but you only can have one skill on elite. Which one is it? I know the answer already.
It's probably endurance.
Of course,
I mean, endurance or attention. I mean, if you could change it on the fly. So, like, if I could decide, I'd just turn on attention from
raid to raid.
Turn on endurance.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I want to do farming now, and I just pick my farming skills. You know,
You have like one or two elite perks equipped or something like that. I mean, that's starting to feel very coddy, but it's like, it's interesting.
That's actually an interesting idea. I have to think about that. It's a bit like Dead by Daylight, where you just bring certain perks and you change them on the fly, like for the next round. It's interesting. Exactly, it gives you different styles of how you play the game and approach situations. It could be could be interesting. That's but everybody says endurance just because. Yeah, I mean, let's be
It's
honest.
OP as
It's
fuck.
the best skill in the game.
Yeah,
It's my streamer item, max endurance. They should give it to me
yeah.
every wipe.
They totally should.
Yeah. Okay, so and you've done it a bit, but mostly you leveled everything by playing the game. So how do you stand towards power leveling skills versus just playing the game? Others say
Uh,
cheesing instead of power leveling. I personally think that cheesing is
yeah.
standing in fire and power leveling is spending 200 hours. But that's a different story.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like any of the cheese or glitch ones, like when you can like in the past when you used to be able to just like fall through a map and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that stuff because I use especially like during that when interchange got released, you could just level 50 endurance and strength in one raid. Like that's shit. But like if you as it currently stands with like there's very few cheesing methods left. Like they're starting to get eliminated. Like the only real cheesing one left is stress resistance in a fire. That's pretty much it at this stage.
Yeah.
So I don't care if people log in and just walk around to level endurance. I'm happy with that. That's fine. And it takes up a spot on the server. I wish they could do it in their hideout. That'd be easier. But and like with an unlimited raid time, so you just fucking walk around in there. But it's
I'd love
like
it.
I don't mind that shit. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Just yeah, the cheesing stuff. It's like I have done it in the past, like bash legs for strength. Would you call cheesing? I don't
No,
know.
I would
I mean,
that you need to spend
like
196 hours bashing legs. You have to
yeah,
bash 50 or 60,000 times. So that's
yeah.
not something
So
that's
it's like
enjoyable.
yeah. It's a lot of effort, and I've done it before. I don't mind that one. It's like yeah, there's a fine line in between it. Like I feel like the label of cheesing comes from like does it happen in like one or two raids or does it happen really fucking slow? Because there's like I think people get uppity about it if there's no actual effort involved. So the stress resistance one is like instant and people hated that.
Yeah.
And the old strength ones were instant and they hated that. The old jumping one where you would jump for strength, like people didn't care about that because that was like it actually took a little while. Like it
Yeah, but
didn't
you
take
could completely automate
to
that.
take.
You sit below.
Yeah.
You could cheese that actually. You sit below a little ledge
Oh
and you
yeah.
jump and you keep like bouncing. And
Oh yeah.
that's the way they abused it.
Yeah.
And
But you can automate anything though, man. Like
I mean, yes.
I can automate my toaster to spit toast at me if I've got an Arduino and enough fucking time. But it's like, hey, I can automate a computer program to just fucking walk around in shoreline for me. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's just, it's the same as everything. Like, you're never gonna eliminate that kind of shit because there's always someone that's more crafty and stuff like that. So it's like, I think that like as long as there's a certain amount of effort involved in it, I think it's fine. That's in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, you have to spend the time. But it's just if you just play the game, the majority, and I always say like 95% at least of the player base will not be able to reach the max skills because it's just not possible.
Yeah.
Given
Yeah. No way.
the time frame they do wipe. I mean, we now know. I don't know if they're going to do a soft reset in March. A soft reset to me is they reset the skills as well, player level skills. You know,
Yeah.
the only thing you keep is like your trader rep and your trader level.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So if they don't do it, then yes, people have enough time. If they reset in March already, then the wipe has been like 5 months in, like November, December.
Yeah.
Nobody that can't play for 10 hours each day can ever level something up. And I think
I don't even think that I will hit like all max like useful skills. Even if the wipe doesn't happen till June, I still don't think I'll hit all maximum level skills. I mean, I might if I grind out my strength, I might.
You just
But
need
it
to
seems
farm
unlikely.
more
It's still probably
shoreline.
unlikely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just need to throw fucking grenades everywhere.
Oh god, that's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, I do want to. I would like to. The last two that the last four that I want to level are attention, strength, and recoil and AR skill, but it's like, can I be fucked? That's the main part. Like, can I be fucked?
I mean, you know how to level search, right? To
I've already got max
level
level search.
Yeah, but the same works for attention. So
yeah. I know how to do it, but I just I just can't be bothered. It's so boring.
It is. I was leveling attention with Toast at the beginning of the wipe.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was done when he was still like 10 levels behind. And then we were doing something else while he was doing the rest of attention with one other guy, and oh, Jesus Christ, you know, this whole thing, it took 2 weeks to get to max attention. But like I said, I slept 3 to 4 hours each night just to get the skills up, just to put the videos out, really.
Yeah.
And you know, looking back, would I say it was worth it? Like my life quality was really poor. I was feeling really bad. Would I say it was worth? Totally.
Totally.
No, I mean, what else can I say? If I say it wasn't, then you know, I feel bad. So I say it was totally worth it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I feel like I just don't need like. It would be cool to have, but it's like a pair of fluffy dice on my mirror. Like, I'm not gonna if they look cool. I mean, the fluffy dice obviously don't look cool, but it's like you can just it's a nice to have thing. It's an addition. Like, it's not gonna make my car run. It's not gonna change the fact that I play the game and how I play the game.
No,
like,
absolutely.
It's just a nice to have sort of thing. So
it's actually so broken. Sneaky said, they tried to nerf Ghost. They took the pistol thing away, so you can't run faster with a pistol. And they tried various things to just nerf him, to not make him as OP in the game. And everybody failed. So it took Dashing Dot to give him max level attention to actually nerf him to the ground, because now he has to restart his game ever so often because the elite perk bugs out.
Yeah, so that shit's so annoying.
It is. But horrible.
This is my a lot of my problem with the skill system at the moment is like, I wouldn't mind the skill system if there was no wipes. Like, the skill system is fine if the game is intended for me to keep my skills over the space of like a 2-year period. Then I will hit in a year I will have max everything, and that's fine.
And then you can play it for a year.
But
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I think they should just I think they should just up the skill level stuff just a little bit. Like, we give it a 50% boost or like 100% boost for the wipes, so we can see the implications of these elite level skills without the game being released first. So you're not gonna you'll see every motherfucker and his dog running around with elite endurance and elite strength, but you'll at least be able to rectify the issues you're going to have when the game gets released, and everyone is going to have that. Because if you just let it happen and then you're just like, oh shit, that's so broken and we haven't tested it.
No, they're
only gonna kick themselves.
That's correct. And that's why I say you need both, and that's what I always say. You need the people that power level this shit to actually show you the elite perks. Are they working? You know, what are they doing? Are they way too strong? Are they just useless, like mag drills? But you also need the other ones that level the way they intended them to level it, so they can see the progress for that. So, and here's the problem. Yeah, I would love a wipe where every player that starts a fresh account has max level skills just to test them. It's awesome. But the problem is the problem is that they just don't know. They are missing a whole test series of the other group. So as long as you have people power leveling that, I feel like it's well tested, you know. As long as you have people abusing glitches, you know, they can get rid of them. It's really good, because at some point those idiots can't just keep their mouths shut, so they have to talk and brag about it. So, you know, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I feel like you can't just give them a boost, everybody, because you need people to level it as it's intended.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As it's intended, if you're not unemployed or playing this game as your main job, or whatever, student.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you. Yeah.
Right. So this is one where I thought like that's gonna be an interesting one. Do you feel it's a good thing that certain tasks and things that you have to build in a hideout are locked behind skill levels that you have to reach in order to unlock the task or to get to build the item in the hideout? Or do you think it should be
Not with the only
changed?
way. No, that sucks. It
Hmm.
sucks balls. It's so annoying. Trying to get level like 10 health, man. I had to get level 10 health to get my kappa, and I was fucking infuriated. Like it was just pissed me the fuck off. It is so dumb. Like without without a way to like power level it, just take those quests out of the game. Just take that shit out of the game. It doesn't make any sense.
But
Like
health levels
just
passively.
yeah, but it just pisses me off when you have to like it's just like this stuff that just like locks you out from other stuff for no reason other than you have to play the game for like fucking 40 hours or something like that. Like it just makes it impossible for some people to actually get past that shit. Like it
Yes.
should be skill based, not time based. Like if you add another quest where it's like you have to fucking flip a dude's wig from 550 meters away, make it skill based all the quests. Don't make them like a grind fest. It's just annoying.
I do
Like,
understand that. However, to me the
yeah.
skill tasks are always the easy ones because as soon as I reach them, like yeah, done.
Yeah, for you it is, but I don't focus on my
But then
skills at
I
the start
get
of
the
the work.
Mosin
So,
tasks
I mean,
and
yeah, but I rush my skill, I rush my quests though, man. I don't rush my skills, and so I'm the opposite way, man. I hit walls really quickly because I get to these tasks like fucking 5 days into the wipe, and I'm like, this is fucking annoying, and so I have to sit there and like piss around with stuff. Like I would have got my kappa on like day 16 instead of day 18 if it wasn't for the health. I literally spent 2 days leveling my health. You know how I did it? I jumped off a fucking tower in reserve, man, and then just walked to the top and then just jumped off again.
And do you
I just
want to
kept
know
doing
which
that over and
skill
over again.
was used to level that health?
What's that?
Vitality.
Yeah.
Because you do it endurance, strength, vitality, right? I always look at like other content creators making these insane skill videos on how to level your physical skills and stuff, and I always wait for the moment where they say, if you want to level your health, you need to level stress, for instance. And I'm always like, oh, you fucking have no idea. So yeah, but I think like that's exactly the purpose of this task. Like reach health level 10 or you don't get your kappa, because the kappa container is so good. I mean, I never had it because I never do all tasks. I'm too lazy for that. And I don't have the time because I do all the skills. I say I don't have the time, but I'm really just too lazy. And I'm not good enough for some of the tasks. Like not good enough is the wrong thing, but I don't want to run around with an unscoped Mosin and shoot players at 15 meters and closer. Fuck no.
It's the worst. Literally those quests, man. They hit the second you hit 40 in this game. The second you hit 40, it unlocks the Mosin tasks. I swear to God. And then you finally unlock all the good gear, and it's like, yes, I get to use all the good gear, and then it's like, no, use a Mosin for a week. Like it sucks.
Yeah,
it's really frustrating. Like,
yeah,
they need to make it so you can use any sniper rifle for those quests, in my opinion.
It doesn't matter what sniper rifle they give me. I wouldn't want to do that. It's the same. To me, it's the same with the pistol. So I always tell people, like, if you do the pistol task and you can't get it done, dude, just be smart. Play with a rifle. Have a pistol. You see a hatchling, shoot the hatchling with the pistol. What's the problem? You know, but of course you want to rush it. You go fucking with a pistol on factory, you know, and do it. Sometimes you're lucky, you know, it's 2 raids, and sometimes it takes 2 hours.
We just do it the way I do it, man. I just go in with an AP.
Oh, I can't hear you.
With a can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. You just do it the way I do it, man. You just go with an APB pistol and then a killer helmet and a fort, and then you just walk around a factory just murking motherfuckers. But I force my tasks as quick as I can because I want to rush to level. I like that. That's part of the game for me, is rushing the level. I like leveling fast. So it's like I'm not as fast as like Pest or anything like that, but I'm definitely like getting to level 40, one of the faster people at it, and I want to unlock the new shit. I want to use the new guns. I want to see the new attachments. I want that kind of shit. So, and also it's really helpful being able to just buy like a Gen 4 and a ZSH and just run it unlimitedly with like fucking super awesome M4s against shitters.
I mean, it took me two weeks in point 12 to get to level 40, which I think isn't too bad, considering that I was spending most of my time walking on shoreline or searching things. But but yeah, so I like to be 40 really fast too, but I just don't do it. I think what you also want is the copper container, you know. So that is not something I want to achieve so far, just because I can't be asked to do those tasks. It's literally like you can't be asked to sit in a fucking raid and do what I do, because you would go bonkers. Where I sit there with my Excel spreadsheet and write everything down, you know. I don't know why.
You love it.
I do. I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's why I should. That's why I probably stay alone forever, because the person next to you says something. Oh, let me write that down. I don't know. But yeah, so I do get the frustration.
A massive Tarkov strength.
Yeah, I'll have like endurance and strength IRL from Tarkov, and then I'll just go out. And,
just on your spacebar finger.
It's actually my mouse button finger that is really good. But yeah. Okay, so
I hear the ladies love that.
Yes. To conclude this, is there anything you want to mention or say in regards to the skills or skill system that we haven't touched yet, or where you feel like this needs to be said? Like, let it all out.
I don't think so. I think we covered all of it.
We did, because I'm really good at covering all of it.
I know that I know that BSG is definitely in the process of redoing the skills.
Yes.
So they've talked about it a lot, and there's definitely big changes in the works, and I would not be surprised if the entire system changes, but I don't know what it's going to look like in the future. And I've talked to Nikita and Dimitri about it before, and they've asked other streamers. I know that they've asked a lot of streamers, including myself, what we think the system should look like. And it's definitely changing. So hopefully we see something really awesome in the future for it.
All I can say to that is that I hope that Nikita someday asks me to, but that's fine. It's not that I know anything about that shit.
Yeah.
Right, so if you don't have anything to add, then thank you very much for being here, guys. Don't forget, he's streaming every day on Twitch. You should really watch him, because it's actually fun to watch, and you can learn something. If it's not the playstyle, then it's definitely how to fucking get wrecked by Bitbot.
Good old Bitbot.
Slushy, thank you very much for being here. It was my pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me, Dash.
And I hope I see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.